Sleeping next to a water pan in lion country sounds like a calculated risk. Waking up to find their tracks right outside your tent makes it feel less calculated. And then spotting 9 of them walking toward you, that's where this goes. The first video tonight comes from Endless Venture, a channel where veteran wildlife filmmaker Casey Anderson and his cameraman Riley McLaughlin travel to places most people would need therapy just to fly over. Casey doesn't observe predators from a Jeep with a telephoto lens. He does it on foot. The footage exists, so here we are. It's March 7th, 2026. Mopani Pan, deep in the Okavango Delta, Botswana.
Packing up camp.
Just spotted a big pride of lions walking to the north, the end of the meadow. These guys, pride of lions. In the distance, we're trying to close the gap on them. Here. Just on the other side of this bush. We got lions coming our way.
They'd slept beside the water pan the night before. Fresh lion tracks in the dirt right outside camp when they woke up, a warning most people would take seriously. Casey takes it as a starting point. While packing gear, he spots 9 lions moving across the nearby meadow, mostly lionesses, a few young males. Instead of getting in the vehicle, the team closes the gap on foot through open bush until they're positioned just on the other side of a thicket from the pride.
Really on the stalk. They've all spotted us in the bush and are slowly, deliberately stalking in closer. As this young male creeps in, you can see the rest of the pride lining up behind him.
The lions notice them immediately. The entire pride shifts at once, not fleeing, not dispersing, locking into a predatory state. What follows is a slow, deliberate, calculated stalk directly toward the completely exposed crew. No cover, no vehicle. 9 apex predators assessing distance and threat in real time. And the crew just stands there.
While we're locked in on the male in front of us, another one quietly slipped in from behind.
A young male breaks from the group, creeps forward, and keeps coming until he's sitting just feet from Casey, within arm's reach, literally within arm's reach. While the crew stays locked on the male directly in front of them, another lion slips silently around the brush from behind. They are now surrounded. 9 wild lions, open savanna, 0 protection. Casey's heart is pounding hard enough that he can feel it through his chest. His hands are visibly shaking, and the lion in front of him just stares. Then the lead male relaxes, lays down on the dirt, starts blinking slowly at the crew, the feline equivalent of a ceasefire, before rising and rejoining the pride. Casey calls it life-changing, surviving a moment where 9 predators had every advantage and chose not to use it. He says the crew will be telling stories about this for the rest of their lives, which, given how close that young male was sitting, could have been considerably shorter. But honestly, I've watched a lot of wildlife footage. Nothing has made me feel like that. Nothing. A narrow country road in the middle of nowhere doesn't sound like the kind of place you'd think twice about. Just darkness, just fields, just an empty lane. But when that road is locally known for vehicle thefts and muggings, and your cell phone has 0 bars, those fields start looking a lot less friendly. This is what came back. The second video tonight comes from The Explorer Returns, a UK-based channel that explores dangerous, isolated, and criminally active locations at night. These guys don't chase ghosts. They chase real-world threats with vehicle cameras and handheld gear, documenting suspicious vehicles, hidden figures, and hostile locals. He made it out with the footage. It's April 11th, 2026, Underhill Lane, United Kingdom.
The lane's going to get even narrower now. Oh God, look at this. Potholes. Ooh. See a big old sign up ahead of us. So it goes off to the right there. What are the chances people are going to be hanging around down there, do you reckon?
Yeah, imagine that.
Just looking in the bushes and there's people stood there. So there's a siding there. What's that gate into the fields? Yeah. Where's the fork? Because it forks off, doesn't it?
It's quite a bit further down.
Is it a bit further down?
Yeah, it still goes on.
See, even right now I'm feeling
Tense.
a form of tension, yeah, because we just don't know who is hanging around down here. People do as well, like more or less all the time. We've both seen it.
And the issue is, if there is another car head on, you can't move.
3 miles of narrow road, deep potholes, 0 mobile signal, no houses, no exits. If another vehicle comes the other way, there is nowhere to go. They discuss this out loud while driving deeper in, including the recent violent ambush and mugging that happened on this exact stretch. They keep driving anyway.
What the fuck? That's a car fire, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
Oh shit.
Doors wide open.
What the hell? Oh yeah, the door is open. Oh my God. And it's people been fly tipping as well. Oh, we've got to pull over
That is
again.
bad.
We're going to have to get out and look at this. Oh, the problem is if there's people fly tipping here, car fire, fly tipping, there's going to be some dodgy people about, isn't it?
Is it worth turning around so your headlights are on
Are we not going to get out?
it? Yeah.
There's a car coming. Look, who's that in the field?
Where?
While they're inspecting the wreckage, a white torchlight appears in the pitch-black field directly beside them, tracking their movements through the trees, fixed on them. Then a large diesel pickup truck rolls past, slowing right down, scoping them out in the dark, before continuing up the lane.
I don't know if it's my eyes going funny. Looks as if it's...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a floodlight on like a shed. I don't like the fact that that car just slowed down and now the engine's turned off. Big diesel truck and it just goes off.
Accelerating up the dark hill, the driver checks his mirror. The pickup is directly behind them. No headlights, tailgating at speed on a road barely wide enough for one vehicle. Then the lights flash on, full beam, right in the mirror. The driver floors it. This is no longer an investigation. This is an escape.
And then they were behind us. What was that?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. What was that?
Don't know.
I heard it sounded like someone dropping a pole or something.
Yep. That was a metal pole. Gone behind.
I don't know if this is the best way. Well, there's no going back now.
There's no going back. There's no going back. Someone.
Yeah.
Did you?
I heard that. I don't know if the camera would have got
I don't know.
It literally is the sound.
They hide in a hilltop car park, regroup, and then, because they need to get home, they drive back down the same lane, crawling past the dark fork, and a loud, heavy metallic sound rings out right outside the car window. like a metal pole dropped onto the road. Someone is standing in those bushes, armed, waiting. They were there the whole time. A second vehicle pulls out of a lay-by to follow them on the way out. They reach the main road. They don't stop until they do. Burnt luxury car, tracking torch in a field, a diesel truck that cut its engine in the dark, blacked out tailgate at speed, and a metal pole dropped inches from the window on the way home. No ghosts, no paranormal activity, just coordinated, calculated human threat on a road that swallows mobile signal and has nowhere to run. I'm not sure I'd have made it past the torched Mercedes. Not a chance. A forest with a body count doesn't announce itself. The trees look like any other trees. The paths feel like any other paths. But when those paths have been walked by a serial killer who buried his victims face down with their hands tied behind their backs, the silence starts sounding different. So, what happened? The third video tonight comes from Bushcraft and Camping Adventures, an Australia-based outdoor and dark tourism channel hosted by Craig Zammit. Solo survival, traditional bushcraft, campfire cooking, and a habit of picking campsites with the darkest possible histories. Let's jump into it.
And we're not only 5 minutes into our trek, and I've come across bones. Man, that is hilarious. Man, this is wild. This is wild. There's mushrooms out here. This is gorgeous.
5 minutes in. Craig's barely past the tree line when he finds them. Bones on the forest floor, weathered, scattered. He notes the location. Keeps moving. In any other forest, this would be unremarkable. In Belanglo, it isn't.
More bones. I'm not sure what to make of all these bones, I'll be honest. There's kind of bones everywhere here. And I know wildlife dies and all that, but it's more than normal. I mean, that's the length of a femur. And here's another one. These are old bones too. So we're just looking for a spot to settle in.
Further in, more bones. A disproportionate number of them, including what appears to be a sizable femur. Craig acknowledges that wildlife dies in nature. That's normal. The sheer volume of remains concentrated in this specific area is not. He finds his campsite anyway, sets up, stays.
But before I was out looking for wood, and I distinctly heard, and I'm not making this up, I'm really not making this up, like, I distinctly heard a female voice kind of screeching out, "Don't." Mosquito. Like, whoa, the f***. Okay, so that's weird. Anyway, and yeah, so I was out there and I heard a female voice screeching out, "Don't!" Like, "Don't!" I stopped to listen to see if it would go again, and if it did, my camera was ready. And it didn't. It was one off. "Don't! Don't!" Kind of like an irritated "don't." There's no other conversation, there's nothing. If that was real, there would have been follow-up sounds, or at least something. So that happened.
He's away from tent gathering firewood as the light fades. when the forest shatters. A sharp, irritated female voice. One word. Don't. Clear. Close. Unmistakable. He stops immediately, raises the camera, and the forest goes completely silent. Nothing follows. Just the dark, and a word that has no business being out here.
This is where the scary part kicks in, right? You know, when Malat buried his victims, he always did it in a very specific way. It's really bizarre, and it really makes me wonder what was going through his head. He would always bury his victims face down with their hands behind their back, and then he would build a pyramid over their body with sticks and ferns, and that's how he'd find them. That's how he'd leave them. And so you'd just find a body.
Campfire now. Pitch black. Craig details the history. How the killer buried victims face down, hands tied behind their backs, then constructed deliberate pyramids of sticks and forest debris directly over the graves. Strange, methodical, ritualistic. He's sitting in the dark describing this, in Bilanglo, alone. I genuinely cannot explain why.
You know what? But we have heard some funky things. The gunshots that I heard about an hour ago, they were definitely pretty funky. And the female's disembodied voice I heard before. But apart from that, I think it's time to crash out. It's about 10:30 now, and beautiful full moon out. I think it's about time we call it for the night. So we will see you, unless we have some kind of incident, in the morning.
Just before turning in, Craig notes he heard distinct gunshots echoing through the trees about an hour prior. Distant, unexplained, in a forest that has heard far worse. He goes to sleep anyway. Morning comes. He hears the voice again. In daylight, he concludes it's likely an unusual bird call or animal, which is probably the right answer. Probably. He packs up, reflects that Bilanglo is genuinely beautiful, despite everything, and leaves. The bones scattered through the pines, the voice that said, "Don't." The gunshots nobody explained, and a man who slept through all of it, alone in the dark, because he wanted the footage. But honestly, I wouldn't have lasted past the femur. 6:45 p.m. The light is fading. The field is isolated. The grass is high. Marlo thinks she has enough time to explore, set up camp, and get through the night. But darkness has a way of speeding up when you're somewhere you shouldn't be. Let's jump into it. The fourth video tonight comes from Explore With Me, Marlo C., a Massachusetts-based outdoor adventure channel focused on solo camping, hiking, and historical exploration. Marlo takes viewers on personal, unembellished journeys through nature, balancing peaceful wilderness appreciation with the raw, unpredictable elements of solo exploration. She sets up a tent. This is what came back. It's September 28th, 2025, the Berkshires, Massachusetts, United States.
Running. Just heard some running through the tree line right there. Look at this. This is amazing. But yeah, it looks like it drops off over there. You can see a mountain in the background there. I'm not really sure.
9:30 p.m. Pitch black farmland. Marlo's by the fire with hot chocolate when the noise hits. Sudden, strange, close. She freezes mid-sentence, doesn't finish the thought, and moves directly back toward the camp perimeter. Hot chocolate still in hand. The fire suddenly feels very small.
In the tree line, in the woods. Because that's what I want to hear when I'm at camp, right? That's what I want to hear. If there's a logical explanation, I'm sure there is. I'm gonna make a knocking noise and see if anything knocks back. If anything does, we're out of here. Is basically what's gonna happen. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something to make a knocking noise. Piece of wood. I don't have a small enough one. Let's see.
She leaves the camera rolling to catch ambient audio, and the noises get weirder, not random, not falling branches, deliberate, rhythmic, wood knocking, vibrating from deep within the tree line. Something out there is making a pattern.
I could have sworn I heard something. Did you? Are you hearing that at all? Like my heart's racing now because it sounded like it sounded like it sounded like something like sliding by a tree, like brushing by it, like when you're walking by it, it makes that sliding noise. Alright, just normal noises in the woods. It's all. What was that? I know you can't see anything. I'm sorry. I don't want to turn the light on. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to bed.
Inside the tent now. Dark, camera still rolling. Low rustling and strange vocal structures interact right outside the immediate campsite. Things that don't sound like wind, don't sound like animals, and don't sound like anything she came here expecting to hear. Marlo whispers goodnight to the camera and waits. She makes it to morning, misted field, packed gear, breakfast eaten quietly. She admits the night thoroughly freaked her out, but she didn't run, which is either admirable or a serious lapse in judgment, possibly both. 9:30 p.m. Something just knocked back from the tree line. Do you stay? Do you run? Or do you pick up another log like she did? There's no right answer, but there are definitely wrong ones. But honestly, I'd have been gone at the first knockback. No question. What makes someone pitch a tent in freezing rain next to a wild animal during mating season? For this explorer, it's the honest documentation of wilderness reality. But sometimes the reality doesn't respect your personal space. Let's take a look. The fifth video tonight comes from outdoor girl Sophie, a Denmark-based outdoor survival and solo camping channel focused on honest, slow-paced, atmospheric vlogs. She captures the unedited reality of wilderness exploration, including adverse weather, bushcraft cooking struggles, and authentic reactions to unexpected wildlife. The camera kept rolling. It's December 13th, 2025, a remote lakeside woodland in Denmark.
I see this deer over here. Oh, I thought it was fake, but now it moved. Oh my god. What should I do? Should I go there? Is he gonna be angry? I don't know if you see him. or her. Maybe it's his spot. I'm a little bit afraid. I'm gonna maybe move a little bit closer. He just stood still for like 2 minutes, completely still. So in the end I thought it was just like carved from wood or like a fake wood deer. But no. Now he's just enjoying himself, eating some grass. I'm gonna try and go a little bit closer. Wish me luck.
Tent pitched in total darkness, and the deer comes back, walks directly up to the tent, starts sniffing the fabric, grazes mere feet from her backpack like Sophie isn't standing right there. She backs away. The deer does not.
Saw some eyes light up in the dark behind the shelter. So now I'm a little bit worried that maybe it's a female deer looking to meet up with the deer next to my tent. It's getting later and later in the evening. I haven't made a fire yet, so I cannot cook any dinner without a fire, and this deer is just freaking me out. And maybe there is one more behind me, behind this shelter. I don't know what to do. No. Do you see the eyes of the deer? It is just standing right next to my backpack, eating grass. Why are you not afraid of me?
Cornered inside the open shelter, Sophie admits she's genuinely frightened. She's been warned about deer aggression during mating season. They're unpredictable, territorial, and considerably larger than most people remember when one is standing 3 feet away staring at them. The flashlight finds the deer again, standing directly over her equipment, not grazing now, just staring. Fixed on Sophie through the dark, the kind of stare that makes you realize the animal isn't afraid of you at all, which is a deeply uncomfortable realization at midnight in a forest. She tries again. Flashlight on, eyes still there, still fixed on her, still not moving. The deer has decided this is its campsite now, and is waiting for Sophie to reach the same conclusion.
Right at my backpack. That's nice. Little guy. Now he's looking at me. But why is he not scared? Is he really that tired from mating? But does that also mean that he can be angry or... Oh, now he's staring at me. What to do?
She considers going home, out loud, to the camera, in the freezing rain, which, honestly, is a completely reasonable response to this situation. She calls her father, gets enough courage to retrieve the backpack when the deer briefly shifts, spends the rest of the night inside the tent as heavy gales partially collapse the shelter around her, packs up in the morning, leaves with a profound respect for Danish wildlife and a story nobody is going to believe. Deer during mating season, glowing eyes in the dark, gear held hostage by an animal that outweighs her and has zero interest in leaving. Sometimes the wilderness doesn't need to be supernatural to be genuinely terrifying. But honestly, the deer staring her down at midnight is going to stay with me. That was deeply unsettling. You've probably walked through woods at dusk, maybe heard a branch snap and told yourself it was just the wind. Most people keep walking. This guy stops, sets up cameras, and tries to communicate with whatever made the sound. It gets worse from here. The sixth and final video tonight comes from Cliffhanger Paranormal and Cryptid Encounters, a raw, unproduced Australian podcast and YouTube channel hosted by Ben Clifford. First-hand field research, uncut interviews, night vision, thermal imaging, and deep dives into cryptid lore, like the Yowie and Janjuti. No studio, no script, just bush and whatever's in it. He made it out with the footage. It's January 14th, 2026, Narrawali Creek Reserve, New South Wales, Australia.
Really put there. I'm saying it's definitely a Yowie. That's a definite X that's been placed there.
Darkness now, and something starts tracking him, matching his pace exactly, moving through heavy undergrowth only when he walks, stopping dead the exact second he stands still, step for step. It's been following him long enough for him to be certain it isn't coincidence. His thermal optics are useless. 39 degrees Celsius ambient heat from the day has rendered the foliage completely indistinguishable. Whatever is out there, he can't see it, but he can hear it keeping time with every step he takes. He stops, turns the camera off, strikes a tree 6 times with a heavy branch. The classic wood knock, an invitation, an acknowledgement. Whatever is out there doesn't respond audibly. Instead, something responds physically. A sudden, aggressive wave of overwhelming dread hits him instantly. Acute paranoia, physical nausea, heart racing to the point of nearly triggering a blind sprint out of the deep woods. Not fear of something he saw, a physiological assault from something he didn't. Reviewing the footage the next day, Ben notes that the nausea, sudden energy loss, and absolute paranoia perfectly mirror the known effects of infrasound. Low-frequency sound waves associated with apex predators and with cryptid encounters specifically designed to paralyze prey. Biological warfare, or something else entirely. He leaves the verdict open, the X structures, the footsteps that matched his pace exactly, the presence that wouldn't leave, and the wave of sickness that hit the moment he knocked. Some encounters don't give you answers. They just give you symptoms. But honestly, that last segment is going to stay with me. The sickness after the knock. I don't have an explanation for that. That's it for tonight. If you watched all the way to the end, you're either very brave or you made some questionable life choices. Either way, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and click one of the videos on screen. I'll be back soon with more reasons to stay indoors. See you then. And if you made it this far, there was a hidden word somewhere in tonight's video. Drop it in the comments if you caught it.